Our brains are constantly working, like sophisticated control centers, striving to keep us in a state of mental comfort. But what happens when this internal regulator isn't functioning optimally, when our mental temperature feels consistently off?
Brain should function like thermostats. So thermostat is going to keep your house in a comfort temperature. Brain should be doing that for your body, independent of the circumstances going on outside of it.
Like a thermostat in a house, we're going to be expecting the AC to kick on when it's summer outside. We're going to be expecting the heat to kick on when it's cold outside. So the analogy for how the brain works is it's our thermostat within our bodies. If our bodies are experiencing anxiety, depression, we're going to be expecting the brain to calculate for those discrepancies, adjust, and then give us what we need.
Your brain can dysregulate based off of your environment. It can be genetics. Your nutrition can impact your body's ability and brain's ability to regulate and manage. If you're not intentionally doing stuff to help yourself regulate, like sleep habits, resting, relaxing, exercise, that will add to your brain's dysregulation.
If our brain's natural balancing act is disrupted, how can we help it recalibrate? It's less about forcing change and more about guiding it. Think of it like training a beloved pet. We don't scold them into learning, we reward them when they naturally do something right. Gradually, through positive reinforcement, they learn new behaviors. A similar principle can be applied to encouraging healthier brain activity.
Neurofeedback is a process where your brain is given information back to reward it to basically regulate. The more times your brain is regulating or the closer it gets to regulate, that's where we can reward that. The goal is that it's not going to take away the stressors per se, but your ability to regulate should benefit from neurofeedback in the recovery time should be quicker and shorter. The clients we see that have most benefited from it have maybe some of those neurocognitive disorders, ADHD, autism, sensory processing disorder, but then also PTSD, anxiety, especially if other treatment options have not been helpful. We're usually fairly helpful in those cases. And people who've experienced mental health problems from traumatic brain injuries, depression, and addiction all usually benefit from it.
Kids don't often understand why they're so upset or why they're mad, and so I use the analogy of a bomb going off. Sometimes their bomb is really big and they have a very short fuse with that, and so they're exploding and they're getting dysregulated and they don't know why. So neurofeedback really helps to help shrink that bomb so we don't have as big of an explosion, as big as of an upset or reaction, panic, whatever it might be, and extending that fuse. So if it takes a longer time to get to the bomb, they have time to process, they have time to work through things. And if it does get to the bomb, the cleanup's a lot easier. And so I think the part of mental health and a part of neurofeedback especially is recognizing how to work with your life, how to work with your experience, because everybody's is a little bit different.
I had just started my master's program to be a therapist. I was feeling really overwhelmed at the time. I'd also just gone through a pretty sad breakup and was really struggling with that as well. The biggest thing that was really bothering me was my fatigue. I was basically waiting all day until I could go to bed. I would always be looking at my watch. And so I was like, well, no better time like the present to do this. It honestly felt like a light switch to me. After the 6th or the 7th session, and I had this experience where I was with my friends and we were hanging out, and then they were like, hey, who wants to watch a movie? And immediately I was like, oh, me, that sounds great. And then it like hit me. I was like, what time is it? And it like clicked and I was like, oh. I was like, I'm at that point in the neurofeedback where I should be noticing some things. And since then, like the fatigue has just been so much better.
This innovative approach of guiding the brain towards its own optimal function is at the heart of the work being done at places like Butterfield Counseling and Neurofeedback. They are bringing these sophisticated tools to individuals, including those in rural communities, offering a path to wellness that directly addresses the brain's electrical activity for those who found traditional methods insufficient, or for those seeking alternatives to medication. Understanding how our brains can learn new patterns opens up a world of possibility.
At Butterfield Counseling and Neurofeedback, we are interested in the holistic picture. And so even though we have the neurofeedback specialty, we also have trauma therapists, we have marriage and family therapists.
This is a holistic process. This is something that we can collaborate on using neurofeedback and using that bottom-up approach, using your body, using your brain to understand what's going on. Why am I experiencing stress through tension? Why am I experiencing anxiety through increased heart rate? What can I do? And being able to connect those dots allows for us to regulate better. And sometimes we have a hard time connecting the dots. So neurofeedback comes in and says, hey, this is how you connect those dots. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm stressed, but I'm recognizing I'm stressed and I can do X, Y, and Z. So it kind of all collaborates. All of the coping skills from talk therapy, all of the physical health stuff, it's all interconnected, and our brain and our bodies just collaborate with one another, and if one's not being treated nice, the other's not gonna cooperate either. Within neurofeedback, it really depends on your place in life. Sometimes people come in as young as 5, 6 years old that are struggling in school, struggling to regulate. I've had people as old as 70, 80 years old that have struggled with memory issues or just stress issues, unresolved PTSD issues, and they all seem to benefit from it. I think the main goal is that they come wanting benefit.
There is a significant need for mental health in rural communities, but that's not an area that the current mental health field is very great at reaching out to or connecting with. And so with my book, Hunting for Happiness, using my background, growing up and loving living in a rural community, growing up hunting and fishing and raising animals, I've tried connecting more to the people in rural communities, the country folk that are struggling but don't have many options and don't have options that connect with them.
And so at Butterfield Counseling and Neurofeedback, we want to help you where you're at. If that means talking about the problems, if that means working on coping skills, if that means working through the mucky trauma, if that's neurofeedback. We really try to help you feel welcome to explore those avenues.
By doing neurofeedback and regulating my brain, I've seen my ability to process conversations, have better perspective on them, maybe not be as emotionally reactive, having that baseline stabilization of feeling more regulated because of my brain. It just makes life easier to navigate because my brain feels more confident and relaxed. If neurofeedback is something that's of interest to you, I definitely urge you to reach out to Butterfield Counseling and Neurofeedback for not only neurofeedback needs, but also therapeutic needs.
Understanding the brain's capacity for change opens new adventures for well-being. If you're curious about how your brain can learn to find its balance, tailored approaches may offer the support you need. To learn more about neurofeedback and brain health, visit butterfieldcn.com.